Welcome back, traders, to another episode of Nasdaq100 weekly highs, weekly lows technical analysis video. I hope today your trades have been going good because obviously, as you can see, the Nas has come out of his range and has just taken out a weekly low. So we're going to get into all of that, and hopefully as soon as this video comes out, hopefully you guys can see, I don't know, some logic in what it is that I'm saying and move in the direction that obviously better suits your needs, right? So with all of that said and done, if you haven't done so already and you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification and drop us a like. All right, so with all of that covered, we're going to get straight into it. So in the last video that we did, and I believe that was on a Monday, okay, so Monday in this area over here, I talked about price being in a range. So literally Nas stayed in a range up until yesterday, where today it broke and began to collapse, right? Now there isn't any news today, so this move kind of took me by surprise because I'm expecting all the news to come out tomorrow, Thursday. But however, it did what it did, which is it's done this nice little drop, okay? So some of you guys that were able to spot this happening would have been able to capitalize on this move. But however, in my opinion, this would have been kind of tricky to spot. I mean, the only way I would have noticed that we was literally getting this move would have been when this low over here was taken out. So when the daily low of the Tuesday was taken out, that's when I would have most likely would have seen it as an opportunity to jump on. I probably would have taken this one. Yep, I probably would have taken this one over here and then just ridden it down. And then once it closed below this weekly low over here, okay, then I knew obviously I have quite a fair bit of confidence to say that price is going to keep moving downwards. Now there are a couple areas that we do need to keep an eye on, especially if you haven't gained entry into the market at the moment. So we're looking for opportunities. The opportunities are basically laid out here, okay? So we have an FVG over here, okay? And we have another one that was just created not too long ago, right? Literally 4 minutes ago. We have just got into a new hour right now. Right here. Okay. So, in my opinion, how I would do it would be one or two ways, right? Especially if I was confident price was going to keep going down. Okay, so if you are thinking of getting into the market based on what it is I am telling you, it is super important that you do your homework, do your research, and make sure everything makes sense, because once again, I am not a financial advisor and I'm not giving you financial advice. This is purely my point of view as to how I would do business if I was trading the Nas. At the moment, I'm only trading gold, so I wouldn't be doing this. But however, if I was to do this, this is how I would do it. I would literally wait for price to get into one of these zones, right? One of these zones. So as soon as price goes into this zone, I would put a pending sell order right under here. Okay, I'm not going to try to catch it in the zone. I'm just going to wait for it down here, right? If price then goes into this FVG up here, I will then position myself right here, like so, right? And then if it begins to collapse once it's gone into these zones, then naturally, well, it will trigger me in nice and smooth, and I will just ride market all the way down until it creates its new weekly low. So as it stands, because today is a Wednesday, okay, I will be going off the opinion that this level right here is the weekly high for this week, right? And we are in the process of creating a new weekly low, right? So weekly high up here, and we're waiting for a weekly low to be set there. It looks like price is currently in the business of doing right now. So as it stands, when I release this video, so this video you might be seeing it on your feed, or you might get a notification for this roughly around 9 o'clock this evening, okay? Because obviously everything I do is pre-recorded. I record it and obviously I load it up, right? This could have moved further downwards, right? And if it has, my recommendation will be to wait to see if it comes back into this zone, right? If it does, then position yourself under it and just make sure that you cover yourself nicely. So for example, with these two FVGs, I will have my stop no higher than this level right here, okay? I'm actually going to point some labels to it, so at least you know what it is that I'm talking about, okay? So this would be my stop over here. My stop will be right here. So let's make this red, right? And now put my entries. Entry number 1 will be under the FVG. That will be that over here. Let's make this one white. And entry number 2 will be down here, right? And if it doesn't do any of the two, I'm just gonna wait, because there is news tomorrow. So what you don't want to do, is say you jump in now early, because obviously you just can't wait, and then it flies down a bit. You don't really take the profits because it's not that much for you, right? And then the news breaks out tomorrow, and then it completely disregards these FVGs, okay, and then continues to push up and knocks out this level. Because remember, this is an assumption that this is the weekly high, but we still got moves coming for the next 2 days. We've got Thursday news and we've got Friday news as well. So you want to be careful, right? Because just because I've called this out as the weekly high, it does not necessarily mean it's the weekly high, but we can move accordingly. So I would always say, my recommendation will always be like this. If price comes into any of these zones, this is how you position yourself. Trade number 1, trade number 2, stop up here, right? If it goes through and it takes you out, this is what happens in the market. If you don't like where I've put my stop, you can always make it as high as you want, right? But the main thing is that this area, we don't want to go past this area with a stop. Reason why we don't want to go past that area with a stop is if it blasts and it takes this area out in terms of creating a new high, okay, you would have been left holding the bag and your losses would be quite substantial. So there's no need for us to do that, okay? I mean, so long as you're risk managing correctly, okay, even if you take a loss in these moves over here, you still be around to fight another day, in my opinion. So this is what I'm seeing right now, okay? So let me see if there is another reason to see if price is even going to go lower than it is, right? Because as it stands right now, although it looks like that, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't actually trust the Nas. I think it's going to push upwards. I actually think it's going to push upwards some more. I could be wrong. I may be right, but time will tell. So let's just see what I get if I do this. Just bear with me. Okay, so we do have a few levels from where it is now, where price could go to before we get the news break tomorrow. So those would be these levels over here. So that's the weekly low. It could skim it. It could literally touch it and then bounce back up again. But our main danger as it stands is the news that's coming out tomorrow and on Friday. These are the ones that could create major problems for us. So let me just zoom back in, so at least you're able to get a nice clean shot as to what it is that I'm talking about. Let's just get back in there again. Okay. So this is how I would do it, right? So what I've just laid out before you is how I would do it. Let me get rid of these levels because we don't need any of those anymore. Let's get rid of this one. Let's get rid of this one. And like I said, the FEG from last week, that was a nice little signal here. See how that one there played out? Played out nicely. Obviously a bit of an annoying situation up here, but if you were holding and you were believing that it was going to come down, then literally you got your reward. And as we can see, the NAS is continuing its journey downwards. So on that note, right about now you should be seeing two videos, one for back testing and one for the previous video to this one. So make sure you go check them out. If you haven't done so and this is the first video that you're seeing, right, at least you can go back and follow the thread of all the videos we've been doing in regards to tracking the every other day moves of the market. And yeah, and let me know in the comment section if you have anything to say. So with all of that covered, my good friends, I will see you on the next one.